How we doing, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. I am your host, Richie, here with my good friend, Mr. Michael Zappy. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, senor. How about yourself?
I'm certainly not going to complain today. The New
I
York
bet you're not.
Yankees are heading to the American League Championship Series. To no one's surprise, based on what most people think should have happened, but given the two rainouts, given the very difficult Game 3 defeat, where you and I actually spoke and both agreed that the Yankees were in legitimate trouble, for a guy who's been chastised and criticized a lot by myself and by many other Yankee fans, baseball fans in general, I think Aaron Boone really showed out today in terms of making decisions. He pulled the right strings. An excellent game. Um, an excellent series. I want to tip my hat to the Cleveland Guardians. They gave us all we can handle. And Terry Francona deserves a lot of credit. He is a phenomenal manager, and he is doing great things with that organization. But, no time to really celebrate. The Yankees are heading to Houston, a team that has beat them 5 out of 7 times. Team that on paper is probably supposed to win this series. But, the games aren't won on paper. And quite frankly, I think the Yankees do indeed have a chance in this series. And I think the initial game one especially, I think the Yankees might have a slight advantage just for the sheer fact that they're coming out of a legit intense battle. And they're riding high and they got their emotions at an all time high. They're going up against the great Justin Verlander tomorrow. The Yankees will be pitching Jamison Tyone, guy who was going to pitch today, or excuse me, the guy who was going to pitch last night with the second inclement weather call game. Nestor Cortez came in. It was just a great bullpen performance all the way around. Jonathan Loaiziga did great. Clay Holmes to Wandy Peralta. Couldn't ask for a better game script. Were it not for a collision between Oswaldo Cabrera and Aaron Hicks, the Yankees would have had a shutout. My best wishes to Aaron Hicks. I do not know the severity of that injury, but he was emotionally upset, very upset. He was consoled by his manager Boone, as well as I hope, future Yankees captain Aaron Judge. Feel bad for Hicks. He's had such a tough season, but he has been playing much better. And a guy that I was hoping to have in this Houston series. We are not sure where that stands right now. Zappy, what are your takeaways from this Yankee victory? The only series that I nailed in the division round, I called it in 5.
Um, I mean, really, this series went the way I thought it was going to go. I did not think it was going to go 5. I thought it was going to be over in 4, but obviously we saw what happened in Game 3 with the remarkable comeback, so on and so forth. There's a lot of Guardians fans out there that are hating on the city of New York for I guess the Guardians wanted to continue to play that game last night or get it started at least while the Yankees were not wanting to. That's whether that's true or not. Who knows,
Ultimately, MLB has the final say in that, though.
Exactly. And the Yankees, end of the day, they both got that extra time, so there's no excuses. You play your game, you go out there to win.
And the Indians, the Guardians were in a better position in terms of available arms, rested arms. So, with all due respect, that I don't want to hear.
Yeah, no, and then the people that you pay money to, the people that you expect to show up showed up. Stanton had a bomb today. Aaron Judge had a bomb today. You had good pitching today. Like you said, an unfortunate miscue that happened that resulted in the one lone run. But the Yankees are the better team, and now they're going to play the best team. I hear you saying you think Game 1 will go the other way. I see it the opposite way, because one thing we have to remember is the Astros have had the extended time off, especially after having that 18-inning Game 3 victory.
Yes.
But the Yankees literally had no time to celebrate, because as soon as the game was over, they had to get on a flight because Game 1 is tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's, and the other thing I look at is Justin Verlander's last outing was not exactly his best one. It was one of
Not
his
by
worst.
any means.
So it was one of his worst playoff appearances in his career. And I do not expect them to have another one of those tomorrow. So I'm actually expecting an opposite reaction where I believe Houston's going to come out early and often and do what the best team in the American League by record as well as head to head is supposed to do. And I believe they come out on top tomorrow, winning by a count of 6-1 or something like that. But game 2, I believe, will be a bounce back for the Yankees, and they take that one. So, but it's just too much. You have that emotional roller coaster, like we talked about after game 3, and then when I messaged you about Naylor, and I wonder if the Yankees are going to go after him, mocking him after he mocked. I can't even think of the pitcher's name for the carrying the baby and all that. It's just too much.
It was actually against Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole,
Gretzky,
right? That's right. I guess.
Sorry to interrupt you, Zap. Bretsky, there's an invite in your messenger. When you say I'm here, I don't know what capacity that is. If you want to join the show, come on in. Sorry, Zappy, to interrupt you. You continue, please.
But yeah, so, and then, I mean, shoot, it's been a wild playoffs. Here we are. You and I both predicted the Astros to be playing the Yankees in the ALCS, and that has come to fruition. But then when we look at the National League, I think there might be a handful of people in this great country that picked the Padres and Phillies to be playing each other, where most people probably had the Dodgers and the Braves playing each other or something along that line,
Yeah. Oh, Brett is joining us. I didn't realize he was off today. Brett, how you doing, dude? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, buddy. How you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Good to see you. Have at it, Brett. Join in. What are your thoughts on this Yankee victory and this upcoming series, which the Yankees essentially have no time to get ready for? Just
they don't.
Raw emotion.
That rain, that postponed game was a big difference. But Houston, they've had some time to rest. Sometimes it doesn't pan out, when you have that much rest. Like you got to go with the hot team. And Big G's, 3-run homer. That, I mean, what can you say about that? You know what I mean? That was
it was so necessary.
That was a blast from the past right there, my man.
It did a lot for him too, I believe. I'm a diehard Yankee fan, and I'll be the first to admit that he is very streaky. You and I play a lot of fantasy baseball, and we both agree that is one of the most streakiest guys. Last year, he helped the Yankees on that torrid pace of hitting home runs, just having those big moments. This year, Judge has taken that. But in order to get where they need to go, they need both those guys to be at their best. And
well, they both need to be on the streak at the same time.
Indeed.
Judge was like 1 for 18, 1 for 17, some crazy something like that.
Yeah. I tend to believe that the timeliness of Judge's home runs to a level kind of negate the uncharacteristic strikeouts, because Judge this season, I think, graduated to not just being the all-time Yankee home run leader. I think he graduated to being just a great hitter in general, hitting to all fields, just drawing walks, being a guy that is going to make a difference when he's in the batter's box. And even if he's making an out, more times than not, it's a productive out. Justin Verlander on the hill tomorrow against Jameson Taillon. Under normal circumstances, it probably would have been against Nestor Cortez or Garrett Cole, but because the Yankee series was so stretched out with the rain delays and all kinds of other nonsense, it's going to be Taillon. Taillon, mixed bag. He's had some great performances this year. He actually flirted with a perfect game earlier in the year. But, Justin Verlander, to Zappy's point, coming off one of his worst starts in his career. Very unlikely that you're going to get another one like that.
No, I doubt it. Yeah, no,
Tyone has to match Verlander if the Yankees are going to get game one. Bottom line, Tyone's going to have to be on his game.
well, I think Verlander will pitch 7 strong. Tyone, I'm hoping he goes 5.5 strong.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I'm hoping for. But I mean, Verlander's Verlander, dude. I mean, the guy's a veteran. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. At the end of the day, I mean, they're putting the ball in one of the best pitchers in the game, postseason pitchers in the game.
Oh, the guy's a phenomenal talent. There's no denying that. I like going for the Yankees is that they're coming off the raw emotion. They are in mode. They just came off an intense battle. The Astros have been kind of chilling out.
Confidence.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. And 5 out of 7 they've lost to this Houston team this year. But at the same time, I don't think there's a lack of confidence in that Yankee clubhouse. And as much as I get on Aaron Boone, I got to say he pushed the right buttons tonight. Zappy, what is your prediction on this series for the ALCS?
I'm sticking to it. I believe the Astros have, from top to bottom, a much better lineup, pitching, bullpen, hitting, everything. I'm taking the Astros in 6.
Bretsky, your prediction on this series?
I think it's going to go 7. I think it's going to go 7, but I don't want to go with the experience. But my brain is telling me Houston. My heart is telling me the Yankees. Yanks in 7, baby. Yanks in 7. I don't care if I'm wrong. I really don't.
I definitely don't care if I'm wrong.
I'm
going Yankees in 6, not 7. I'm going Yankees in 6, and I'm also gonna get as bold as saying the Yankees are gonna win tomorrow. The Yankees are gonna win game 1.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yankees are gonna win game 1. I think Verlander is gonna be on his game. I think Tyone is gonna be on his game. I got the Yankees winning a close one. I got the Yankees winning 4-3, and I do want to make a little mention. The Yankees do have Ryan Presley's number. One of the few things that they have against the Astros. I expect a phenomenal series. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. It's all about matchups this time of the year. And, Garrett Cole was getting loose in the 9th after pitching through 110 pitches yesterday. If that's not leadership and if that's not playoff baseball, I don't know what is. I've always respected Garrett Cole. I have a newfound respect for him after what he was willing to do for his team today. Nestor Cortez, short rest. He did his thing. It's going to be a great series. Zappy, are you currently watching that Phillies-Padres game?
Yeah, and and I was going to say to both your points about coming off emotional wins. I mean, we all saw the Dodgers coming off an emotional – I'm sorry, not the Dodgers, but the Padres coming off an emotional win against the Dodgers the other night. And fast forward to today, and it almost seems like that emotion was a little too far-fetched. And right now, Philly is outplaying them. I mean, their defensive shifts have been on point. The Padres have not been able to muster anything offensively. And the Phillies have been riding on from the bats of Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. I mean, they both have had a single or solo blast today. Kyle Schwarber's he annihilated that ball. I believe it was 488 feet. But right now, going into the series, I had the Padres advancing to the World Series. Not my initial prediction, just based on these two teams playing each other. But watching Philly right now and going based off what we've seen the last couple of weeks, this Philly team looks very focused. I mean, very focused. And like you said the other day, this is reminiscent of the Washington Nationals a few years back, because right now Their pitching, hitting, everything is on point. And like I said, they're just the focus. You can see it in their eyes. So we'll see. It's only game one. It looks like the Phillies are going to take it. It's in the the top of the 8th inning right now. If it does go 7, the Padres have it at home. I mean, my initial pick, I'm not going to change it because I've watched game one. My initial pick was the Padres would win this series, but it looks like Phillies might take it in 6.
Bretsky, what are your thoughts on this surprising NLCS? Nobody saw this one coming.
No, no, nobody did. Nobody did. Not even the experts. Not including us. But no, I'll take the Padres in the series. I think Hader is going to come through. It's pitching, defense, the whole shebang. I think Hader is going to finally put his stamp on the National League this year. But yeah, no, I'll take Padres. I'll take Padres in 6.
There were a lot of deals at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the New York Yankees, some of them didn't work out right away. One of them's paying out now with Bader. But when I look at every team and every add-on,
he's a good ball player.
Oh, he's awesome. And people are starting to give up with that Jordan Montgomery argument now that they see the kind of player that Bader is capable of being, not to mention getting Judge at a center. Let me get back to the topic. I just want to make a mention of guys that really panned out. In the case of the Yankees, they had too many injuries. Benintendi, other players got hurt post-trade. Montez, that was supposed to be a big part of what we're doing now. He's gone for the year. As far as the Padres go, no Fernando Tatis all year. They go get Juan Soto. But the best move that the Padres made was getting Hader. I got to agree with Brett on that. I can't believe the Brewers gave him away for what they did. I don't think they got the right return.
Stupid.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And guys, you know me. You didn't really think I was going to pick a Philly team, whether I think they're going to win or not, right?
Nah.
I got the Padres winning this thing in 6 games. I don't care what's going on tonight. It's just game 1. The Padres are the better team, and I think the Padres will figure this out. We all agree.
Yeah, I'll agree. One thing, but like I said before, that trade the Padres made was to beat the Dodgers this year and not win the World Series this year. So I hope it doesn't stand true, but I hope they come out victorious because one thing's for sure, we do not need the fans of Philly to get even more arrogant and big-headed with how good the Eagles are doing right now, the Phillies, and then obviously we're going to hit on another topic here in a second.
All I'm going to say in reference to the Eagles, we're going to talk more about football as the week gets closer. My New York Giants haven't played them yet. We have 2 massive meetings with them, week 14 and week 18. And while the Eagles, you have to give them their due, they are the only undefeated team in the league. There's a lot of football left to be played. And regardless of record, I'm going to keep it honest right now. I don't think anybody is better than Buffalo right now, regardless of record. That is my opinion. There's plenty of time left, but I think Buffalo is the best team in the NFL. The best team doesn't always win, but I think they're the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The NBA. The NBA is back. Something that's going to make history rather soon. LeBron James will soon be the all-time points leader, breaking former Laker / former Buck Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly Lou Alcindor. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time points record. I did find it somewhat interesting to find out that there's literally no communication nor relationship between the 2 NBA greats. In your guys' opinion, do you think there's going to be an effort to bring the 2 together on some level as LeBron gets closer to the record? And we just saw, the Maris Judge thing. Do you think this is going to happen on some level?
It'll change. It'll change.
I hope so for Kareem's sake. I don't want him to come off as a salty old
not
man.
even not even Kareem's sake, but just of the LA Laker legacy kind of sake. I mean, it's kind of hard not for them to talk or see each other during a game. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen. I mean, it's too early right now. You know what I mean? But
And
the
I also
the NBA is not gonna let they're not gonna let that one slide.
they're
You know?
gonna make every attempt to get them together. But I also take into consideration that not every player post career is as close to the organization as they once were. I mean, you look at the great Michael Jordan.
He's nowhere near.
He's
as
nowhere
close.
near the Chicago Bulls. Whenever you see the Chicago Bulls honoring old players, you see Kukoc, you see Pippen, you see Steve Kerr can't because he's currently coaching a team. But the point is that you see a lot of other guys. You don't see MJ around the Bulls. Obviously, MJ's an owner, but they do make exceptions for certain things. He has a statue in front of the building. Magic Johnson, even though he's not necessarily on the same level with the Lakers as he was, he's still very much entrenched with what goes on over there. Jerry West, that goes without saying. I hope so. And, I wonder to a level if some of the old-time Lakers just maybe don't consider LeBron a real Laker, and then obviously
He's not.
well, I mean, I know that, but when you win a championship with a legendary organization and you are the front man, you do tend to kind of jump a few pegs with some of the other greats because when it comes to the NBA, the Celtics and the Lakers, when you look at those two franchises alone and the different eras and the amount of championships that those two franchises have, they basically run the league when you really look at it.
But with these
historically,
what these old timers will always look at for that one championship LeBron James has is he did it in the Mickey Mouse year during COVID with no fans in the stands, which we can all agree fans make a humongous difference.
Absolutely.
Especially in the NBA.
I couldn't agree more. But to be fair, play devil's advocate for a second. And by the way, I do kind of agree with what you said. But just to play devil's advocate for a second, they all had that same disadvantage. They all played in an empty gym. So that was the team that was standing at the end. And I am the furthest thing from a LeBron fan, believe me. But, Milwaukee got their redemption the next year. They were, under normal circumstances, Milwaukee would have been the 1 seed. The road would have went through Milwaukee. They had great fans out there. The next year, they did it. Which kind of leads me into this point. Our way too early NBA Finals predictions.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to cover. Obviously,
All right, Brett, we have to.
But it's super early, and we're gonna get in more detailed NBA shows. It's just a rollout. You got 2 games tonight. My Knicks play tomorrow. Magic are coming up. I already made a request to Brett about what game to take me to for my birthday. The Knicks are going to be in O-Town 6 days after my birthday, and then it's going to be a lot of fun. A much improved Magic team too this year, which
I'll try my best to see what I can do for you, but I can't make any guarantees.
Oh, we'll be there regardless. No matter hookup or not, we're going. That's the point I'm making.
No, if we're going, we're getting hookup. Like I'll make it happen. But
I know you will, dude. It's in February. I'm not gonna. We got plenty of time. NBA Finals pick. I got the Golden State Warriors winning again. This time against the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm calling for a bit of a resurgence from James Harden. James Harden's game has really gone backwards since not being able to frequently get to the free throw line. I think he's going to have a much better year. I also am calling for Doc Rivers to finally just be a better playoff coach, get better results. I don't think Doc's a bad coach. I think he gets a bad rap a lot of times. And I hate Philadelphia teams. This is totally being unbiased. But I still think the Warriors get them in 7. Zappy predicted the Warriors over the Bucks. I considered picking the Bucks. I didn't. I also considered the Bulls. But Zappy is taking them for 2. Bretsky, since you saw our predictions, it's kind of early and it's kind of on the spot.
Yeah.
Who's your
Yeah.
finals? Who's your finals pick?
Oh man. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Gold State, Boston.
A rematch.
Yeah.
Who you got winning this year?
Boston.
I knew it.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of. It's. I mean, they've gotten so far in the playoffs. They got to get over the hump. You know, they're like the early Eagles of the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like they got to get over that hump. They got to do it. It's gonna.
You're referencing those many title games in the Andy Reid era.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Andy got a bad rap over
Yeah,
a guy that couldn't win the big
he
games.
got a bad rap. Then they got T.O. They went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Patriots, but still they got over that hump. But I think
I get it right. I assume 7 games. I know you.
Yeah, it's going 7.
I freaking know this guy. I knew he was going to say 7 games.
Yeah, it's got to go 7. It's got to go 7. It's the NBA Finals, man. It's got to go 7.
All right. We were kind of hitting on, just kind of, broad predictions on MVP. I'm going to post this up here for a moment.
We talking NBA Finals MVP or just NBA MVP across the board?
NBA MVP across the board. I'm going Joel Embiid. I'm keeping it in Philly. Zappy picked Giannis. What you got here? You got somebody else, or are you agreeing with one of us?
Ooh. I mean, it's kind of hard not to agree with those two. Wow. On the spot.
For sure. I mean, they got this guy in Brooklyn that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steph.
Steph for league MVP.
Yeah.
Wow, that'll be quite the legacy grabber if he's able to do that. I mean, he's already closing in on Magic Johnson, and I guess I might as well ask the question.
That would be an ultimate slam on LeBron's legacy.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
it. I freaking love it.
If we get Steph Curry getting his 5th finals championship and then getting another MVP, and he would likely be the finals MVP yet again. Oh man, that LeBron's legacy is going down. I don't care how many points he
I've
scored.
said this on other shows. I'm gonna make this short and sweet, but I said this on other shows. LeBron is a great player. He's anywhere between 3 and 7. It just depends how you interpret his greatness. But I will say this: in his generation, and in any generation, you are viewed by how you do against your peers in the biggest moments. And the reality is, the man split against Dirk in the finals, lost 2 out of 3 to Duncan, lost 3 out of 4 to KD and Curry. I get it. It was kind of like a combo deal. I get it. KD came on midway through that finals, 4 years in a row.
Hard.
To LeBron's credit, 2 of his NBA victories were against 2 teams that he shouldn't have beaten. That the Spurs, the 1 year that he did beat them. Because he beat the greatest regular season. I know. Ray Allen, Popovich took out Duncan. I know. T-Mac's on the bench looking all crazy. Like, where's my ring? What just happened? I know. Dude, please. That pissed me off massively. And I'm a Knicks fan. So for me to get mad about something else is saying something. Because I'm a Knicks fan. That's enough of a reason to be mad. Basketball's back. I'm
going to shoot for Steph, man. I got to go with Steph. I'm a fan.
Now, on the topic of Steph, fellas, if Steph Curry wins a league MVP, or even if he doesn't, let's say he gets that 5th ring, is it starting to get to that territory where he is legitimately in a position to jump the great Magic Johnson for the greatest point guard? Because I think that's a tough one. The game's different. Magic played all 5 positions.
Yeah.
That's such a tough one.
I think the question would rather be would he be the greatest point guard of this generation? Because I still have
I
that
feel more
nod.
comfortable with that question.
Because right now I believe he has jumped Chris Paul, because even though Chris
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
does not have a championship, he's been one of the best point guards ever.
Jumped Chris Paul a long time ago, dude. Like that's not even a debate.
I kind of got to agree with Brett on this one.
You look at point guards not for their scoring. You look at for everything they do.
I mean, great defender, Chris Paul. Great defender. I give him that.
And he's a great assister. I mean, he's a great player.
Great player, no doubt. Great player, no doubt.
If Curry wasn't the best 3-point shooter, then we wouldn't have this argument right now. But because Curry can step back from 35 to 45 feet and sink it without any question, that's what puts him in this argument and why he tumbles all over people. I mean, he's a great ball handler as well, don't get me wrong, but what Curry does behind that 3-point line is what makes him Steph Curry.
And it's a sign of today's NBA with the advent of the 3-point shot, the 2-for-1 aspect. Everybody shoots threes now. It's a different game. But when you think of great 3-point shooters of years before, you got the Birds. Chris Mullin had his run as a great 3-point shooter. Obviously, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, particularly became a 3-point specialist when some of his physical attributes left him. Because in the beginning, he did it all. Ray Allen was a bona fide superstar in Milwaukee. As he got older, he became a role player, but still a great asset to have on a championship team. And he did it with Boston and Milwaukee. Ray Allen, phenomenal player and a pretty good actor, too.
He got game, baby.
That was an awesome movie. And he did.
Him and Denzel.
Oh, man. Love that movie. An underrated sports flick for sure. Definitely a cool movie. Last topic I wanted to hit on in the NBA before we move it along to football. Dikembe Mutombo and his legacy. To those of you who don't know, Dikembe Mutombo currently has a brain tumor. The information has been limited on exactly what the prognosis is, and it should be, because that's his family and his business right now. Here at the show, I just want to extend my well wishes to him and his family. Dikembe Mutombo, just one of the true good guys in the NBA, not just on a national scale, but on a worldly scale. His charitable acts going as far to the continent of Africa, just one of the best human beings to ever play the great game of basketball. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, one of the best Hoyas in a great lineage of big men, going back to the great Patrick Ewing as well as Alonzo Mourning. And just one of the most just funny dudes. I remember when Jordan slipped a dunk on him and kind of did the finger wag at him. Yeah. But not too many guys were able to pull that on Dikembe. I always fondly remember his huge upset leading the Denver Nuggets, who were the 8 seed with a losing record, beating the best team in the NBA that year. Oh, yeah. Back when the first round was a 5-game series.
Yeah.
In Key Arena, the old school Key Arena. I think he had like 13 blocks in that game or something ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, it was sick. It was like I remember watching that game as a teenager. You know what I mean?
Dikembe, just a phenomenal player. I was super stoked when later in his career, he actually played with the New York Knicks for a brief while. Even though he wasn't the same guy, he was older. It was great seeing him in a Knick uniform because he's just one of my favorite players and one of my favorite people in general. I think I speak for everyone here that we wish you the best, Dikembe, and we hope that you come out on the other side of this.
Absolutely. I will add, not to make something turn something bad into a joke, but obviously I want Dikembe to beat this. And I would love to see him make a commercial out of it and talking about, about cancer with his no. like his commercial he had before when he would block people. I would love for him to block cancer and defeat it, because no one deserves cancer by any means.
Absolutely
You
not.
could be my worst enemy in the world, and I will never wish that upon anybody. And, it's an unfortunate situation that it's a part of life. And, medically, we're just not there yet. Hopefully, I mean, we're getting closer with the years. How close we are, we don't know. But yeah, it's just one of those that he's so young.
Yeah, I mean, cancer doesn't discriminate culturally. Everywhere, every which way, cancer doesn't discriminate. And
No.
I've lost a lot of people in my tribe to cancer, and people that I care about very much so who are currently fighting cancer. So I just wanted to say that I speak for everyone here on this panel that we wish you the best, Dikembe, and I'm confident that you're going to come out on the other side of this. We're going to flip it over to football for a moment. A guy that has had some moments against my guys, particularly in the Madden opening. Brett got a kick out of that. We bought the new Madden years ago, bought the brand new version that year. And, they're going through like highlights of the season. And this dude, we know about Miracle at the Meadowlands 2.0. I don't even want to put that out in the universe. Giants having a great year. But Deshaun Jackson is a Baltimore Raven. Is there anything to see here? Is there any impact on this? Does this really matter?
Dude, that would be great, man. Like, I can't
I'm
even.
kind of happy that they got him the week after they played us.
I think you just jinxed the crap out of it, though. But I mean, dude,
they got to worry about him now. He's in the AFC.
I mean, knowing Philly, they're gonna put Deshaun back there as the punt returner / X Factor / he's gonna be the new Slash.
But he's a Baltimore Raven. We got the other bird.
No, I know.
But you're saying, do you think he has a role in this team? Is what I'm getting at. Do you think he has a real role?
I think he does. I still think he has something to give.
I think that Baltimore is kind of scraping to get help for Lamar. This has been a theme for a while. I mean, Des Bryant, who they had to get dust off of to put him back on the football field. No disrespect to Des, it's not his day anymore.
Yeah.
Lamar has not had a number one. Zappy and I had a conversation before going on the air that Lamar could get traded at the deadline. I don't believe that to be true.
No, his number one has always been Mark Andrews. I mean, he's never really had a number one wideout.
And it's an overstate. I think it's understated how important Andrews is to him, similar to how important Gronk was for Brady
or Kelsey and Mahomes.
Exactly, Kelsey and Mahomes. I don't think there's much to see here. I think they're just kind of kicking the tires on this one. Zappy brought to my attention. This is kind of interesting. New York Giant, who was kind of embattled, got a new opportunity with some of the injuries. Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay.
That just happened.
No, this is not official. There has been some rumors. Zappy, you might want to elaborate on this one, since you were the one who first got wind of this.
So yeah, as I said, I'm pretty involved with not just following my team, but I follow all teams, because I feel like the one thing that I love to do is give unbiased opinions, and I like to be in the know about everything,
Sure.
So yeah, so I was looking at a couple of New Orleans Saints beat writers, a couple of guys that do exactly what we're doing right now, and they were talking about how New Orleans is interested in trading for Darius Slayton, while also interested in trading Marcus Callaway away. Now, not to the Giants, but it sounds like they want to replace one receiver with another receiver. And kind of I think, it's almost to the point where Callaway definitely needs a fresh start.
For sure.
Obviously with the emergence of Chris Olave, that kind of hurts his stock. But then bringing in a guy, a veteran like a Darius Slayton, especially with Mike Thomas once again being injured, would probably benefit that team a little more and probably help out Jameis or Andy Dalton a little more too. So it's it's one of those good trades. Now, in regards to the Giants, you got to think about the future too, and Darius Slayton is on his contract year. Is he coming back? I tend to think he's not going to. And, is he one of those receivers that's going to net you a compensatory pick in next year's draft? Probably not. So if you can trade him away and get a late round draft pick, why not? Why not?
This is my thing. And everything you said makes more than perfect sense. That I agree with freaking everything. And Slayton has a bad habit of dropping passes. He has a great habit of getting open. And I'll give him his due. He had a nice game in England. But this is my thing with Slayton, or with any Giant receiver. With a team that is so depleted at the wide receiver position, how we're still finding ways to win, which is a remarkable start to a season that most people had us winning 5 games of the year. We've already done that. I guess what I'm saying is I'm slightly uncomfortable with moving guys.
Yeah.
If we don't have a lot of guys already, I mean, do the Giants have something up their sleeve? I mean, is there some bigger plan that could happen as quick as this year, possibly next? Because, I mean, there's this other guy.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't see that happening.
Ever or this year?
No, this year.
Okay.
This year. Let's just say this year. For the record, Zap, OBJ's thing is on the screen. No,
Wait, what?
OBJ.
Yeah.
OBJ's thing was.
No, he could see. We just can't see
Oh, he
him.
can see? Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
Flicking you off when you said that.
Yeah, thanks. No, this year I don't see it. Just because, I mean, Rams are still in a tight division. They're still in a position to compete. And, Allen Robinson is not quite panning out the way that they wanted him to.
That's a good point, Brett.
And I can see OBJ coming back just because he knows the system. He's got a rhythm with Stafford. This year, I think he's going to stay in LA. Next year, who knows? I mean, the Giants wide receiving core might need some. They might need some help. And what better way for him to come back to the Meadowlands and retire on a good note?
You kind of rewrite the book. Buffalo is my opinion where he's going to go immediately. That is my. And I think part of the reason is if it's about winning a ring, then that's the place to go. And yeah, I get it. They have kind of like a clog at slot receiver. But I think a healthy OBJ could outplay Isaiah McKenzie and Jamison Crowder to be that slot option. I tend to think that he could do that. And I also think that he might be moderately insulted with the Rams. He wasn't too pleased with the offer.
I mean,
according to Sean McVay, he said there'll be more offers. But I mean, it's a business, and I get that.
Go to Buffalo, but Buffalo's wide receiving core is not their weakness; it's their running game. So if they're going to bring anybody over to Buffalo, it's going to be a running back. They need those, third short, second and short down running backs that can get them past that hump. They're regarding wide receiver positions, they don't need another wide receiver.
How about that guy on the screen? Does he fit that need in Buffalo?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine him? Oh, my God.
He puts them over the top.
Oh, my God.
He puts them over the top. Zappy and I spoke about this before we went on air.
That would be absolutely brutal.
While I agree with you that wide receiver is definitely not Buffalo's weakness, you always want to get better if and when you could. It wouldn't blow my mind if both these guys ended up on Buffalo. I'm not talking about DJ Moore, but more so Odell. DJ Moore, he's going to get moved too. I was trying to look around the league and say, where does this guy make sense? I could see him possibly in KC, possibly in Baltimore.
I can't see him fitting in Baltimore. I cannot see them going after another.
Oh, I'm not
5
saying
and
it's the
10.
right fit. I'm just saying that Baltimore seems to always put on shoes that don't fit when it comes to wide receivers.
To me, there's only 2 destinations that make the most sense. One of them is in Green Bay, and then the other one is in Dallas.
Green Bay does make sense,
You talking
but I
about
don't see them doing it.
You talking about for DJ Moore or CMC?
For DJ Moore.
I could see that. That I could see because more so with Dallas, to be honest, because I don't think the Packers, whether they should do it or not, I think they've made such a commitment to this younger receiving corps that I think the Packers already know what it is. They have made a decision that
Well,
they
they
are
have,
going to go in.
but they also need a veteran guy now because Randall Cobb is hurt.
We'll see.
They need a veteran guy. I can get that. CMC, man, there's so many avenues for that man.
And while we talk about, I'm sorry, Brett, go ahead. I'm sorry. You continue.
I really don't know where to go with CMC.
I think he's going to Buffalo, dude. I really do. I think more so than any other player. I'm strongly on that.
Going to Buffalo, I mean, that's a whew. Oh my god!
And Zappy brought to my attention that the Chiefs are probably
that's going to be fun to watch, man. That is going to be fun to watch.
I'll tell you what's not going to be fun, playing them in Madden.
No, not at all. But I mean, dude, can you imagine that CMC in Buffalo? Oh my god!
I don't think it's that far fetched, and we're going to find out soon enough. Maybe not the same kind of impact, but this is a guy that can help a team possibly. He's fallen out of favor with the Rams. Do you think that he finishes the season with the Rams, or is this going to be another guy on the move?
No, he's gone.
No, he's gone. Yeah,
he's gone. And then to go back to the CMC thing and OBJ, I'm going to combine the two. One of them is going to be a Bill. The reason why is, Brett, you say the receiving core is set. I don't necessarily want to 100% agree because I do believe their biggest weakness in their receiving core is they need a little more consistency from the slot receiver.
Because they get those injuries.
Yeah, those injuries are tallying up. So if you bring in an OBJ, obviously it's going to have to be on a prove-it deal. Or you bring in a CMC who can play the slot.
Ooh, I like where your head's at.
So
yeah.
That's why I think.
I mean, they can even bring in Cam Akers. I mean, he's going to get those. You know, they'll get those
Cam Akers that'd be another Zach Moss. Honestly,
I have to agree with Zappy on that one. I don't think Akers is the right fit for that squad, but I do like. I think they're going to do everything they could to get CMC, and it's going to be quite the haul.
Yeah, I mean that's
going to be quite the haul for Carolina's in full rebuild mode.
Yeah, and Carolina's in rebuild mode, and not only that, if you're Buffalo, when you really think about what are you trading? Mode. Yeah. If you're Buffalo, you're probably trading your second-round pick. Which, I mean, if you really think about it, it's no different in the third round.
Dude, you're getting freaking CMC.
You're getting CMC, exactly. I mean, there's just, it makes the most sense. They're running backs. They need another running back. I
think Cook is the future.
Cook is definitely
more so than Singletary and more so than Moss. But you put Cook, you fast forward a couple of years, maybe CMC, gets that's a nice little tandem right there. Cook and CMC. Yes. That is dirty. That's a nice little tandem. Zappy. Actually, I'm gonna go here first. I'll ask Brett this question about Zappy, not that Zappy, this Zappy.
Oh,
and then,
God.
Then I'm gonna run it back to Zappy about his quarterback situation. Zappy or Mac? Bretsky, you are on the clock with this one. What do you think, man? Is this really a quarterback controversy right now? Building into one.
It absolutely is. I mean, you got to go with a hot hand.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? And he's clicking really well with the offense. He's throwing the deep ball. He's making really good, smart decisions. The offense is clicking with him. With Mac, he's more of a conservative type. He's a game manager. I like the way Zappy's dishing out the ball. Uh, I mean, like I said, the offense is clicking. I mean, we're on a 2-game win streak, man. You got
Phillies
to go to
just
the high
won. Just want to bring that to you. Phillies won. The game's over.
nice.
Continue.
No, you got to go with the high hand. I mean, you take it back all the way to 2000. Bledsoe gets hurt. Brady gets hot. They make a playoff run. Who do they go in the Super Bowl? They go with Brady.
To this Zappy's point, our Zappy, he called on this before most of us really even so much as scratched the surface.
He did, 100%.
Yeah, he did. I got to say that. And, I guess whenever you're trying to rebuild a winner or to keep any kind of semblance of what used to be championship teams, you look for any and all little things that remind you of the great guy that was there before. I said this on a recent show that the Patriots and Green Bay Packers, more so than any other organizations, maybe the 49ers to a level, have always had this awesome fortune of just finding the guy by accident sometimes almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Bailey Zappe the next what Tom Brady was to New England? I know nobody can say that.
No, I'm not.
But the thing is this. Somebody down the road is going to be a guy in a position to bring a championship to that organization or to put them in positions to win championships. And in the brief time that I've seen Bailey Zappe, and in the little bit more sample size that I've seen Mac Jones, I tend to believe that Bailey Zappe has more of a ceiling, therefore agreeing with our Zappe.
I want everyone that tunes in to go back and watch the AFC East preview when I said Bailey Zappe will be the starter of this team, and Brett said, no, Mac Jones got us to the playoffs.
Yeah, got him there. Not Bill
and
the
I
defense.
said, Mac Jones's ceiling has already been reached. You're not getting anything else.
He did say that. I got to give him this. He did
He got
say that.
Hurt, dude. He got hurt. Do you think this would have happened if Mac didn't get hurt?
Do you think Tom Brady would have
Hoyer got hurt?
Mo Lewis expedited your dynasty because he almost murdered Drew Bledsoe on the field.
Yeah, but then Hoyer got hurt. The guy got
How did Steve Young get his shot? Leonard Marshall almost killed Joe Montana.
Two guys had to get hurt in order for anybody to see what this guy can do.
The Patriots still had him on the roster. There's something there.
The NFL is so frigged up.
Yeah, man. Things happen like that all the time. And while we're talking about injured quarterbacks, guys that come back, fight, another guy that got his chance because of an injury and then lost his chance, and now he's back. Dak is back. Zappe's final thought on this. Go ahead, Zapp. The floor is yours. Dak Prescott coming back this week against the Detroit Lions.
Obviously we saw what happened on Sunday night. I didn't get the opportunity to give my 2 cents about the whole situation, but it's pretty clear that, and as to why most quote unquote experts say Dallas is still a top 6 team in the power rankings, because if Dak is on that field on Sunday night, that game likely goes different. The Eagles had every opportunity to show their dominance, and really Cooper Rush 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
3 interceptions. Yeah. And like I said last week to a few people when they're like, Cooper Rush needs to be the starting quarterback. A starting quarterback, an elite quarterback, does not throw for 110 yards in a victory. Only a backup quarterback does that, and that's what he did against the Rams. So now it's pretty clear that this offense has found their mojo. As long as Kellen Moore keeps calling a great running offense, they're going to be fine. The receiving core, they're getting healthier. Obviously, Michael Gallup has 2 games under his system. He's looking better. CeeDee Lamb, there's still question marks about him as to why I believe Dallas, if they're very serious about making a run at the Super Bowl this year, they need to go out and acquire a receiver.
Got to get somebody to replace Coop.
You need to. And whether it's a DJ Moore or even a guy like Denzel Mims, they need someone that's better than what their current number 3 receiver is. Defensively, this defense is going to carry them. I mean, this good. They
Yeah.
shut. I don't want to say they shut down the Eagles because the Eagles still rushed for 136 yards combined between Sanders and Scott. I'm sorry, and stuff.
They got a great O-line, dude.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and but as far as Dallas goes, with Dak returning, what better game than against what is arguably the worst defense in the history of the NFL? So
Yeah.
you get Dak returning in that game, and then by the way, they have the Bears next week. So
Dude, I'm starting Pollard in my league against Detroit. So
yeah,
I mean, why not? Anybody that plays
not,
offense for
dude?
the Cowboys, why not?
And so Dallas has the next 2 weeks to figure it out offensively before they travel to Green Bay in a game which today, based on what I've seen this year, Dallas is the better team. Their defense has been playing lights out offensively. Their offensive line has surprised the hell out of me. I mean, and which brings the next question about Dallas is Tyron Smith is week by week getting closer to returning, and Dallas's offensive line is getting healthier. What are they going to do with him when he gets back? So right now, I think the Dallas has the highest ceiling in the NFL. Dak coming back to that offense makes them
The NFL?
in the NFC. Sorry, in the NFC.
Okay.
Okay.
In the NFC, no. In
We
the
were both gonna
NFL,
jump at you like if we were both
I
Bills
was
fans.
jumping on that one. I was
Yeah,
jumping.
we're gonna get up.
I
No,
apologize. No,
there's nothing to apologize about. I just didn't understand you.
the NFC is so wide open right now. I'm sorry. Philly had their opportunity to set their dominance and separate themselves, but unfortunately, in my opinion, and the opinions of many, they didn't. They didn't. I mean, they should have beat Dallas and embarrassed them, not blown a 20-0 lead, and almost lost the game. If Dak is at quarterback, he makes that throw to CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb is going to pay dirt, and they take the lead in that game. So there's a lot of things. I'm excited. Dak's coming back.
I mean,
It's the
you
right
could
week
say,
to come
you could
back.
say if Dak would have started that game, they wouldn't be down 20-0. You know what I mean? So it's like
It's
there's
a
a
catch. It's a
Yeah.
catch 22 because this is his
definitely.
first game back since week
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we don't know how he would have played either. There's a lot of variables.
Exactly.
And if we've learned anything with this NFL season, it's to expect the unexpected.
No, and honestly, I think if this was Dak's second or third game back, this past week against Philly,
That's
different. But no, that's you had to go with Cooper Rush. You had to, whether he was a quarterback averaging 350 yards passing and 4 touchdowns a game, or a quarterback that was passing for 175 yards a game, 1 touchdown, and just managing the game. You had to, because you cannot risk a lot of things. And more than anything, at the end of the day, in the NFL or any sport, it comes down to the mental aspect of things. And if Dak comes out there and gets mentally defeated, that could have probably gone a long way this season.
I also wanted to make a mention, kind of piggybacking off of what you just said. It was important for Cooper Rush to stay in there until he lost. Because to your point, if a rusty Dak comes in and doesn't play well, now you're messing with his confidence. He's going to be 0-2 on the season when the other kid would still be undefeated, not just this season, but in his Cowboys career dating back to last year, a win in Minnesota. I got a quick, bold 2 prediction here. Just want to say this real quick, and I'm going to elaborate on this in a future show. The New York Rangers are the best team in the NHL. I think the invaluable experience that they caught last year in the ECF is going to put them over. They already have a win over the Lightning starting the season, which I think did wonders for their immediate confidence. And the New York Knicks will be the best team in NYC, not Brooklyn. And one final one. In the 2K world, the New York Legend Knicks are going to wipe the floor with the Orlando Magic in round 1 and play Brett's Legend Rockets in the finals. We'll see how that plays out. Final 50 seconds or so. Anything you boys want to say on the way out?
Hey, I'm just happy. You know, ALCS is set. NLCS, we're into game 1. NBA season is well on its way. Warriors got their rings tonight. NFL season, we're almost at the midway point. Hey, life's good.
Brett, 30 seconds. What do you got?
Yeah, no, it's been a hot minute since I've been on a show, so it was glad to be on here with you boys and talk some sports. It is what it
Awesome
is.
to have you, man.
I miss you
did
guys.
a great job. No, this was awesome. I had a great time. He's Zappy. He's Brett. I'm Richie. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to continue this conversation off screen. Until next time, we will see you soon. Take care and go.